Philip, tell us about what Lightower is doing in the wireless sector and how you're supporting some of the tower companies.
Well, Jeff, so we certainly have a dense fiber footprint throughout the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, and out to Chicago. And that allows us to reach a number of cell sites and towers. And really, that's intersected nicely with the backhaul demand growth that we've seen at these sites. And it's really allowed it to be more feasible now to get to a number of these sites. So we actually have about 700 sites that we either connect to or are in the process of connecting to and providing backhaul services to wireless carriers at. And the vast majority are in service already, and we're really looking to grow that business. Certainly, again, that backhaul demand growth is something that we're seeing that is really something that I think our network is well served to provide those services for.
Tell us what makes Lightower's network unique.
So we own, and our strategy is really one where we like to own and operate all fiber, really dense all fiber networks. And in owning and operating these networks, we can provide for high-capacity broadband services very easily from the perspective of delivering services over that fiber access to the customer, to the endpoint. And it also allows us to actually control the customer experience and provide a great customer support and again experience that owning the whole network allows us to do. But the fact that we actually have an all-fiber dense network also allows us to basically, again, not only deliver the service, all our services delivered to end customers on fiber, but also within our network, because we have, these high fiber count cables, we're able to not have essentially some of the aggregation points that maybe some of the other providers who provide these services do, and as a result, when we offer services today, and maybe customers are asking for 100 meg or 200 meg or 300 meg, and then 2 years from now or 3 years from now, customers are looking for a gig or 2 gig or 5 gig or 10 gig. The fact that we've got this simplified network with fewer aggregation points that our all-fiber network allows means that the upgrade is a much simpler process for us. So again, it helps us provide services for today, but also helps us provide services that customers are going to demand in the future.
You're responsible for product development, product management, and market development. Can you talk about some of the key challenges and opportunities you're seeing in your role?
Sure. Well, maybe keeping with the theme of wireless carriers, so as much as we provide service to a number of towers and cell sites, we're also very interested in looking very closely at the small cell deployments, and we're seeing a number of RFPs for those. And I talked about our fiber footprint, but we actually have 7,500 on-net buildings as well in that fiber footprint that I think are really well positioned to help with the small cell deployment. These 7,500 on-net locations are, again, in those dense metro networks, but are also in some of the buildings around downtown New York here that I think are prime candidates to really put small cells in and offload some of the traffic that's otherwise going to macro cells. And so we certainly have that network today. We're also adding about 1,000 sites to that 7,500 every year, so we're growing that network. And we're also looking at ways to provide even more services beyond the bandwidth services, like space and power at these sites, because we have a lot of time distribution rights and so on within buildings. So I think that's certainly an area that, from a product development perspective, that we're very focused on. On the market development side, so one of the other areas that I'm responsible for is market development, and that really entails answering the question of where we should expand our network. So I talked about the fact that we add 1,000 buildings each year, but beyond that, we're looking at new markets. Where should we expand to beyond the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic and so on, and what regions within those areas do we need to build our density? And so, we're looking at where are the revenue opportunities, where are the cell sites, where are the data centers, and so on. And my group is looking at, again, putting business cases together to expand our footprint and grow that all fiber network that I talked about.
Thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.